change before my eyes. Destiny's rearranged to my surprise. I tried so hard to make amends, but my mistake has separated my friends. White turned to blue and blue to white. Harmony rewritten out of sight. What can I do to bring you back? My technicolor world has faded to black. Wake up now and see the truth. I'm here to show the world to you the way it was meant to be. So follow your destiny. This twisted future isn't right. Let's bring the real you to the light. I'm going to make you realize. So open your eyes.
Hey, how is it going? How are we doing? I'm seeing some bouncing already up in this chat. Tails, Night, Poofy. Hopefully everyone is doing well. I had to get my drink on, so I'm still setting everything up, but I also got cold. Holy cow. But we are now good to go, and we have a couple, kind of an interesting show going on here for our late night rendezvous. If I can find it quick. Where did that go? I might have it in my history. I did look at a little. I'm ready. I even have a banana. It comes in denim. Let me put my... So we have. Let me turn off the music here too. Some interesting ones here. We have, of course, Phil, but then we also have someone who this one's going to be an interesting one because I saw it actually popped yesterday, and I was seeing it. And I'm like, man, I really wish I was not currently doing something else.
Do not engage with anyone that I'm mentioning.
It is someone who, well, I won't go too much into it. We'll save it for the actual video. But it's a furry dent, but possibly not. And Poofy, who you first actually pointed out to me, but I also saw it a little bit on the Twitters and whatnot. And might be, I think it's Fox, yeah. No, the consensus is it's rage bait, but I figured, go through it anyway. See what the dealio is. See what it's all about. You're watching Fox. Shame on you. That guy's. I'm sad that he doesn't do much content anymore. He was kind of alert to watch. But yeah, let's do a DSP as is our. I did see that he did make a response to the comments, so it's going to be kind of a long night here. So hopefully y'all strapped in, and we're good to go here. Cause this could be interesting. It might also be stupid. I don't know. We'll see. We'll try and do a fill. We'll do the guy. We'll do another fill. And if we have enough time, we'll do the response. The fill ones are only I think 13 minutes. So It shouldn't be that long, but
Save the pig.
it's definitely stupid. All right. Well, you know, we always love a good dumb video. It's by default. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Let me get my Rainbucker off. But as always, as is tradition, we shall start with Phil. Good old DSP. There's also the 30-minute iDubbbz one, which I did click through a bit, and it looks alright, but I'm not doing that one today. After yesterday, I'm not doing it. That one we'll do next week. It's him just spurging out on H3 or Ethan Klein. So it's like if we want some variety and we're having a slow night, then we'll do that one. Because yeah, when you have the same type of spurging now, it's not interesting anymore. So, but we'll see. In any case, Phil time. Who's ready to go? I know I am. Is my avatar ready to go? There it is. I really need to get my leapfrog back in, because I used to have my hand movements, and that was really cool, but I don't have that anymore. Makes me sad. The desk is too small that I'm on in my laundromat, in my laundry room. All right, let's see if I can go through a whole day without accidentally stopping the recording. Hey there, everyone. How's it going? It's everyone's favorite Draconic Saberwolf on the internet, and we're watching everyone's least favorite streamer ever. That's right, it's Darkside Phil, aka DSP. He's ranting as usual. Says he doesn't care about the views, which we all know is kind of a lie, and very silly of him to say, considering he used to be like, oh, you know, I don't care about the views. And also did the Marathon Server Slam and didn't do well in that either. I know, shocker to everyone. But yeah, well, we get to see Classic Phil back in action again. Gotta give a shout out to Snort Burnell. He makes these clips and has the commentary on it, and that's always nice to bounce off of. Go ahead, give him a like and subscribe if you can. And also, if you like my commentary, then leave a like and subscribe over here on Draconic Saberwolf Productions. All right. Let's see what Phil has to say.
They're supporting the stream today. Like I said, last night, sadly, was a really bad support stream because we had to kind of redo everything on the fly, and a lot of people who were there and wanted to see indie games left, which sucked. Today, we scheduled this as a marathon stream all along. Let's get some support.
Air dicking.
Trying out something new.
He's air dicking. He was air dicking. That was a really good air dicking for Phil there. He got his whole wrist into it. Thing said, for someone named Phil, their head sure is empty, and their wallet too. No doubt, no doubt. Night goes, by the way, Sarah, are those banana nut muffins with denim wrappers behind you? Yes, specially made for the DSP streams. They're banana muffins. Zurin says Phil has to care about views. You can't care about likes and not care about views. Yeah, it's always weird. Like, first he doesn't care about likes, then he does care about likes, and now he's not caring about views, or he is caring about views, but then he didn't care about views. It's I don't know. I think he's still trying to find that philosopher's stone of the internet, where it's like, oh, if I have this perfect view-like ratio, I'm going to get all the money. But in reality, it's the internet. It's a very fickle mistress. But, you know, he's only had 18 years to try and figure that out.
Again, this is the kind of game I never would have tried this or played it before, right? That's why this year is so different. I'm going outside of the stuff I used to do. I'm trying new things constantly. We're seeing, you know, new games, new projects, new styles, everything, right? The new equipment, it makes it possible, which is excellent. So let's go. Let's get some rallied support.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Ooh, that was a good, like, slow stroke double dicking right there. That's some good, like... That was amazing. Maybe he is working out, but he's not working out with weights, if you know what I'm saying. He's got to squeeze them bananas. Let's see oh, no, not slow motion. But like, he just watch the movement. It's
For
expert
the
motion.
marathon
Oh, he doesn't.
Silver Slam today. That's right. I need my begging fundraising segment.
He would actually pay people to steal games from the back rooms of stores, from Walmart. He would find a way to get this guy to sneak in and steal a fucking video game early, and he would pay this guy tons of money to do it, and then he would play the game 2-3 days earlier than anyone else, and he would have a full playthrough of it on YouTube to get day one views. That was literally the only appeal the guy ever had. He was never charismatic. He had absolutely no, like, watching him play the game was boring as shit.
Phil, that's you. Like, Phil, the only reason this man is, like, even known on the internet is because he got into the whole, like, gameplay streams, not streams, videos, the gameplay videos early. He would just dump tons of gameplay videos on the internet, and they weren't good, and he wasn't very good at, like, anything else with them. But he did a lot, and the internet's like, what's this? Whoa! So yeah, he got there early, but he wasn't charismatic, and there's nothing special about him. So, you know, once more we have Projection Burnell Phil Projection Burnell going. Knight says, Phil is a one-man Hollywood, just churning out the same shit over and over again, expecting to make money off it. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Phil is the Hollywood of streamers, except he actually did get quite a bit of money. So, actually, it's very apt. Cern says, soulless corporate piggy. And I bet Phil loves the shake weight. You know what, Cern? I think he does too. I think he's got that big shake weight, the big one. That, you know, he's just double fists in those shake weights to prepare himself for fighting game tournaments.
But he would always have the game playthrough out early. That's how some of these people just treat this shit. Like, I must be the first. I'm a special snowflake. I'm the golden child streamer. Don't you want to come see me because I got the game early? No. You're a boring motherfucker.
As are you, Phil. Zern says he's awfully familiar with that motion, though. Hope he has knee pads. And maybe we finally found what DSP does to get all that money to blow on Hogan's when it's not the stream. We found his next occupation. He seems to be very good at it.
I don't care about you getting the game early. I want to watch someone who actually is charismatic or is funny to watch or you have an enjoyment interaction when you watch. I don't give a fuck that you got the game early, and no one else should either, but people are dumb. They flock to something because they think there's some kind of an exclusive club where people are playing it early, and they rush to see those day one views. I don't care about day one views.
What? Good Lord, man. Look in the mirror for a second and stop believing your own lies.
I just don't. I haven't cared about it in about 10 years. I just don't give a shit. The day that I started being a interactive streamer, all right, and we started having a cool social back and forth during the streams rather than it just being about the game.
What, like 4 months ago when you started claiming that? Like, this guy, man, he always is trying to, like, reshape the narrative. Like, guys, I was always Mr. Positivity, Mr. I'm interacting with you. First of all, if interaction is berating his audience for not tipping, then yes, he's a very interactive streamer. He begs at, like a champion, like a WWE champion. This man clocks at about 40 begs per second. It's pretty remarkable. It's the only, like, thing he can do well. But, like, this whole, like, I hate the day one people. It's like, Phil, you would do it if you can, but you can't. You don't have the connections. You don't have the ability. You are a lazy fuck who always strikes when the iron is ice cold. Except for, like, the rare instance. Once in a while, he'll do it. Once, like, Slay the Spire 2, which is a hilarious time that he has. What a stupid game for him to play. It's like RimWorld. It's just not going to be entertaining. But he's like, oh, man, I'm going to get this day, like, this early access. Because he got butthurt about Hades 2. I don't know. That's a later video. But, Zergan says blowing Hogan's to blow Hogan's? Yeah.
That was the day that I stopped caring about playing stuff early. Like, who gives a shit, right?
No, I just got
if there was a
lazy.
reason why I couldn't play Resident Evil tomorrow, I wouldn't care. I'd be like, we'll play Sunday. Fuck it, I don't care. We'll play whenever. People will still be here to watch me play Resident Evil. You know, I don't have to worry. I am not a slave to the machine that is, oh, I only get views when I play something early. That's,
you almost did it.
True.
You almost had
So
another dick
I just
in.
don't care about these idiots, because they are idiots, when they run out and they play that game and they think that they're special because they got it early, and they jump through hoops and they kiss butt and they suck on the fucking PR people's dicks to try to get the game super early, because they do. They kiss ass and they...
Again, talking about sucking dick. It's on his brain. He's got dick on the brain. He's dick-brained. Right,
I'll say the game's great. They do all this fucked up stuff to get stuff early because that's how they make their money. I don't have to worry about that. Because I've always been independent, because I've never played that game, I'm able to do things freely. And then when I play the game, you know I'm honest about it. You know that I'll be telling you my actual truthful opinions of it, not that I'm going to kiss the game's ass because I really wanted to get the game early to get day one views. I don't care.
Wow, that is just a whole lot of just absolute cope. It's cope. It's 100% cope. I guarantee. Well, he has gotten offers to play games before, but that whole Tainted Grail one. But I guarantee if a developer came to Phil and said, "Hey, we want you to do this day one release," he would just be like, "Oh yes, like please, for the love of God!" Like, the reason he doesn't care, quote unquote, is because he can't do it. No developer will touch him. Anyone who does gets negative press and review. And it's just a terrible person. He's just the worst. Like, no game industry person wants to have the DSP be the one to back the game. And also, because his reviews suck. They're the worst. I have, like, basically you can flowchart Phil's process of critiquing a game. Did it make him money? Yes. The game is good. No. The game is bad. You could probably add another one, like, is the game difficult? Yes. The game is boring. No. The game is fun. You know, like, it all comes down to the money, though. And the whole, like, I'm not the slave to the publishers. And no, you're a slave to two people and your detractors. You're a slave to OIC and ICS. You know, that's it. Like, he's literally a slave to those people. Like, if they stop giving him money, he's gone. He's cooked. Like, he might get enough detractor donations for a while, but he's not going to get the same lifestyle he has. He needs that whale. He needs those whales. He's a slave to his whales and to his dolphins and to the detractors because they live rent free in his head. Zern says no flow in that chart. That's true. Phil's thought process is more a stagnant pond than it is a flow chart in that regard.
I guess it gave me infinite ammo. Oh God, what happened?
Oh no, Phil down. Pig down. So this is Marathon. Now, I did not have the chance to play this because I don't like these kinds of games, to be honest. Like, well, I don't know. They're not bad. Like, I play Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders is alright, but you want to comment or something, Phil?
Well, that was Marathon, everyone. Well, interesting server slam. The server certainly got slammed, and I got slammed. Oh, look, it's a troll.
I bet Phil gets slammed with them denim bananas.
Troll. It's already a troll. This Kohi guy? This is the same guy who fucked with me in the other game. So how the hell did he get into my game? Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
There's already
CIA,
a guy
Phil.
stalking me in the very first match. How the fuck do I stop that?
Again, trolls just keep.
I mean, I don't care. I had the free loadout. So how the hell did that guy join already? It's a fucking beta server slam, and the guy's already in my party first game. What the hell? How did that happen?
Well, Phil, it doesn't help that you literally name yourself the same, like, you name yourself Darkside
How much
Phil.
you want to bet this guy, too? These are probably trolls. How did they get into my party?
Just good old-fashioned
How is
hard
that even
work.
possible? How did I just get experience for quitting? How the hell did I get experience for quitting?
Oh, this is Phil's kind of game. You get experience for quitting? Darkside Phil 666.
Well,
Oh, yeah, that's true. And a 69.
So how do you fix this so that they can't join you? Maybe it was something here? Yeah, like, did it have something to do with that? They were able to find and join?
Again, Phil, you call yourself Darkside Phil in everything you do. Plus, you
Can't
stream
do
everything.
anything.
Like,
I'm useless. I can't do anything of use to anyone right now.
they probably
What
just
a
waited
waste
for
of
him
space I
to
am.
join and then
Q
did so
solo,
himself.
hide your screen, click at random times to space it out. So how did I even do that? How did I queue in a group? How do I prevent that? I don't understand.
Oh my
okay.
God, Phil.
Queue fill and
Come on,
enabled? How do
man.
you do this? How
I'll
does this
give
work?
I'll give it to him. It's a new game, so like to intuit
no
it, but
clue
you
how to
should
do
be able
this.
to
We have to figure this
intuit
out.
it. Like,
This is a brand new game. I don't know what anything is. How do you have it so it doesn't autofill your party?
getting help from the chat. Knight says, I
Anyone
suggest
know?
you try
I don't
light
see
side
anything
Phil,
about filling a party here.
but
Do you
he's
see
too
it?
selfish and prideful to be a Jedi.
Help!
Very true.
Nothing, right? Season level, ranked level, silk, credit value, crew leader. How do I edit the crew?
Riveting
How do I
gameplay
do it?
there. Phil, Google exists,
Why not
man.
just play? Because I have two trolls in a party. I can't play, you fucking idiot.
Wow,
What do you
and
think?
then
They're going to stand there and fuck around and not play. When you start a match, click squad fill off. Where did it say that? I didn't see that anywhere.
by the way, this is your cool, chill, positive streamer, man. He might have just act like, oh, you know, hey, maybe you should just like try out a different game. And then he just the fucking venom on this dude, just like, oh, you fucking idiot, like, wow. Just someone's like, hey, like, just play a game, you know. And I think the solution was you do have to get into the game, and then you can like fill with setting, kind of like Fortnite. Although I think I don't know, it's been 84 years since I played Fortnite. But like, just the absolute, like, he just bites the dude's head off for like no reason. Phil, just because you suck at a video game doesn't mean you should take it on your audience. And this is why people hate him. And this is why he has not changed. If you look at my previous videos, where he's like, I don't know why people don't like me. I've changed. No, he hasn't. Fuck that. Like, that right there, he hasn't fucking changed. Poofy Hui says, love menu gameplay.
So if I do that, where does
Yeah,
do you
right?
see squad fill anywhere?
This is great.
Help!
Darren says, grossly incompetent perpetually. Yeah, this man's a baby. He's a giant baby man.
All right, do you see it anywhere?
He's not even a man.
It
He's
says
a little
enabled.
baby boy.
How do I turn that off?
Knight says,
I
Phil, you
literally
have a phone.
no
Look it up.
connections.
Right?
These are
Phil,
my friends on Steam. It wasn't them who was
look
joining.
it up on your phone.
Here, can I block? There you go. Oh, perfect. Yeah, suck my dick. You idiot. Cool, that worked. Here, let's
Yeah.
get this other guy too. Where's the other guy? Oh, here he is. Block this fucker too. Lick my balls. Okay, so they're out. After selecting zone, okay. You hit select zone. Aha! So there we go. Cruise solo. All right.
Oh, look, you had to start the game in order for you to get to that crew. Phil, I think you owe that guy an apology. Huh? The guy that you kind of bit the head off of? What, you need to go back there. Need to give him a little sorry, because he absolutely was fucking correct. Said get in there and start playing the game. You gonna do that there, Philly boy? No, I don't think so, because you suck. And this is why everyone hates you. Knight says the only thing that's changed is his hairline, number gray hair, and his beard. Yeah, pretty much.
You understand? You're a coward. You're a wimp. You have a little dick. And that's why you act like that online.
Oh, the sniper. Oh, my God. I'm already dead. I got sniped. You couldn't even see him. Look how far away he is. Dude, it's over already. What the hell? I got downed, like, instantly by a fucking sniper.
Oh, man,
wow,
if only you had friends.
Right? There's nothing else I can do. I'm done. I gotta give up.
Yeah, that sucks. Too bad you don't have, like, anyone who actually cares about you. That's unfortunate.
I hear footsteps, but I'm already dead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
look.
only you weren't a salty, toxic bitch who pushes away anyone who tries to help you ever.
How do you
man.
die so fast?
Because no one loves you.
You can't see the name of the guy, huh? So you don't know if this is the troll or not. It might be. Let's see. No, this was Thunder Flames. Thunder Flames killed me.
Everyone's a troll.
Which is fine. I died anyway.
Knight says, bananas and denim, sucking dick, lick his balls? Someone's saying some singles, right? This man's gay. This man is... He's at least... He's been thinking about this. The dick's marinating in his mind pretty hard. You know, he needs it. Maybe if he, like, got some dick, he might, like, be a nice person. Wouldn't that be crazy if, like, it's, like, kind of, like the Grinch Who Stole Christmas, but instead of, you know, getting an altruistic message about Christmas and, you know, helping others, it's just Phil getting dick down, and then it's like, I suddenly feel better, and I'm not toxic to my audience anymore.
It was a free loadout. Dude, you die so fast.
They say his ass stretched 3 sizes that day. All right, we're going to...
That's crazy. You have no health in this game.
Any moment, I can pick up a controller, and I can play any game at professional level.
If you guys are liking my...
This ain't getting monetized. I don't even know why I bought to, like, ask for fucking sub. I ain't ever getting fucking monetized, man.
my server slam stream here of Marathon, please give it a like. Let's get some engagement on the stream. If you're enjoying the content, if you could support the stream, I would very much appreciate that. If you're watching on demand and you like it, please support it as well by liking the videos, leaving some comments. What do you think about Marathon? And if you can, support with, you can do a super thanks or a tip. All appreciated. Thank you, guys. Let's go. We're slamming them servers. We're thinking of slamming the servers. Give it a good slam.
Again. Talking about slamming.
Villain. I am a
Although Phil's going to be the one slammed.
disgusting,
let's be honest.
immoral individual. Thank you for the support so far. If you're enjoying my testing of the server slam of Marathon, please support this stream. Right now we're at 107 to support, but we still have about an hour and a half left on the stream. Thank you so much. Let's go.
Oh.
Knight says the biggest part of this man's anatomy is his bag. I would say it's his
There's a
ego.
sniper. I'm about to die. The sniper got me. Now,
Well,
will
Zurin
it
says
X
doubt
me
it. I'm
in time?
sure. Zurin says doubt it. I'm sure Cat's gotten pegged. Heyo. Probably.
Fine.
Well, we already know who wears the pants in that
Wait, no, I might make it. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, I did it. No, I didn't. No, what? It killed me. Even though it said I was going to survive, I died anyway. Oh, well. Okay.
Oh my God, he's drinking Tyrone sperm.
Anyone understand why I died there?
Phil, someone shot you, and then you died. Like, right at the about 2 to 3 second mark, he got shot. You heard the shot, and then he died. So, you know, that's solved your mystery there. Hope that helps.
I legit don't know why I died.
No, that's
It
because you
did
don't pay
count.
attention
All the
to
objective
anything.
stuff did count, though. Cloaked. Well, I just got killed from behind by a human. Yeah, look. Redacted came up and hit me from behind and killed me. Some human got me. I think I was gonna die anyway. But you see how fast you lose health and shields in this? You get into a fight with one enemy, you already are almost dead. It's actually quite difficult. I think this is way tougher than Arc Raiders.
Once again,
All right.
let's go. Let's get some support.
Oh, back on the
from
bag.
me doing different stuff in 2026. You know, I never would have played this kind of game previous, right? This never would have been the kind of game I would have tried or given the time of day, but I wanted to try it today to show you guys exactly what the game is and to give you my opinions on it compared to Arc Raiders. It's disgusting.
Phil, shut the fuck up. Like, and now I will say this. I've only been watching for like a year or so or something like that. He does play these games. Like, if he's talking about like, oh, it's like Arc Raiders. I don't know what Marathon it like exactly is, but it's like, oh, it's like Arc Raiders. I never played. Like, he plays Call of Duty all the fucking time. I think he played Apex Legends at one point. I don't know. That might be just a fever dream. But like, Phil, you're all this like, oh, I'm not the views guy. I'm not the. He does chase trends. He does, as soon as a game comes out, he does usually get it, except if he doesn't want to play it. And then his audience bugs the shit out of him to play it, and then he does 6 months later when it's ice cold. So like, he just does everything so like ass backwards. The games his audience wanted to play, he waits for months, if not years. But if a shiny new game comes out, he's like, oh yeah, I gotta play that now. And we all know why. He's whale hunting. I'm going to say this in every video because I believe this when he does shit like this. He is whale hunting. He's trying to find new audiences to prey off of. Oh, he did play Apex. Poofy, he says he did play Apex Legends. See, he's just trying to find a new audience to leech one or two, to get exposed to, leech one or two whales off of, and then milk them for all they're worth. That's all he's doing with this. That's why he's doing the indie stuff. That's why he's doing everything else. He is trying to find his next OIC or his next ICS.
It's greedy. It's gross. It's shitty content. I'm just saying, if someone did a $50 contribution, we get to see the briefcase of affluence during the marathon stream. That would be cool.
Oh, God.
The briefcase of affluence is an awesome animation. There's a turret shooting at me. Because that guy's disgusting.
It's not an awesome animation. You know when that animation was awesome? When it actually appeared in Yakuza. I believe it was Yakuza. It's like, no, we get to see the brief. Like, if it was a hand drawn or an animation he commissioned, it's like, okay, maybe then it's still a little cringe, but it's just a GIF. Poofy says they've got 2K hours on Apex. I used to play the shit out of Apex Legends, but then I got a little too into it and I had to stop. So maybe one day I might brush it off again, but. I used to actually be, I think I was like gold rank before I stopped. I was really into it for a while.
Pig of a human.
Those and not die from the toxin, which is going to happen. Look.
Uh-oh, Phil's dying to toxicity, just like his career. Apex mentioned. Oh,
this game is stupid. I'm going to be honest.
Oh, no.
So the moment I went into that room, I was going to die of the toxin.
You must not be making money.
So people are absolutely right. Playing this solo is a waste of time. You always need to have a group, because here's why. You're with a group, you say, okay, you go in and loot everything, and you get poisoned, and then we'll revive you. You literally can't play this solo. The way that they've designed it, you always have to have someone with you. Because there's so many cheap things. Turrets where double turrets pop out at once. All of a sudden, a whole group of enemies are on you, right? Or... in this case, there's a toxic room. How would I ever go into the toxic room? You're going to get down. So it seems 100% this game is not made for solos. It's a team game. No matter what, you need to be with other people to pick your ass up, or else you can't even do half the stuff.
I'll be back tonight.
Phil, it's like one toxic room. It's not... If you're a solo person, you probably just have to avoid the toxic room. It's like solo players have to play differently than team players. It's just the way. And again, I don't know much about marathon, so I'm not going to go too far into it. Maybe it is terrible on solo, but trying to be good faith here. But it's like, yeah. Oh, a group of enemies pops out. Yeah, like it does in most games. Turn says, yeah, like gold 2 or something for a whole week. I had to bite my tongue. Luckily, I have many other things to talk shit about. Well, I do aim to please. Yeah, I was too into it. I was too into Apex. I probably could have platted it if I kept at it, because I was playing, I think, every day at that point. Like every day or almost every day. I was really into it.
Tonight it is Thursday night fights. Zangief returns in Street Fighter 6. Now, I haven't played with him in a bit. I'm going to do my best and try to have fun, try to get some wins. I hope that you'll show up. The thing is, it's Thursday night, not Friday, so might not do as well. I am hoping it does well tonight. This stream did all right, but yesterday's night stream tanked. So I do hope that we have a good night tonight and one slow day. Oh, it's terrible. Oh my God, what a slow stream.
All right. Poofy says, and that's the point of gaming. You learn on how to play and learn from your mistakes. And that's true. And that's usually how people do it. But as Knight says, Phil is incapable of learning. Zergan says, nearly you got close like true furry trash. You chose the Space Wolf over the game. Yeah, I did. Good times, though. That was a lot of fun. So was this. This was a lot of fun. And if you had fun as well, be most appreciative if you make like a werewolf and like and subscribe. Be very much appreciated. Alright, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye! Hey, that was a good one. That was pretty tight. It was 1-2. And boy, this Phil... I don't know why he keeps, like, trying not to... Well, I do, because of the whale hunting, but it's like... All he does is just embarrass himself. Like, he just embarrasses himself. Like, he's got to play with randos, or he's got to get, like, 2 people that can tolerate... You know who he should get to play with him, and I'm sure they would be more than happy to. The Kino Casino. Or Asmongold. I'm sure either one of those bumps more than happy to have Phil back on. And then they can play Marathon together. And he can have his new best friends. Knight says he can't even retain the help he's gotten with RimWorld over, and that's true. He doesn't. It's because he doesn't care. All he's doing with those games is he's just counting down the seconds until the next time he can beg. It's really it. That's Phil in a nutshell right there. All right. Oh yeah, no, Asmund would never. I think Asmund learned his lesson on that one with Phil.
Before the video begins, I just want to say that I do not condone any...
Okay, hold on. I gotta be timely or G. Okay, now this one, like I said, it's I feel like this is a rage bait. I do like some other people on X are saying this is a rage bait. I still want to go into it, but like we'll check that. We'll check it out. So it's time Lear G. Okay. So I'm going to this blind. I think we'll skip the Kiwi Farms stuff. Yeah, we'll skip we're gonna skip the Kiwi Farms stuff and the local culture stuff. So we'll start right about there. So yeah, this is time. Fuck. I hate names like this because it's like Time Lear G. Okay.
They just...
Okay. Yeah, I'm strongly feeling this one is just, I feel like they're either a clout farmer or rage baiter, or they're just like, because I've never seen any like donations from anything remotely resembling this person. I tried to stay like clear of spoilers, but I did see on X where someone said that it smacked of like a tourist who's trying to like farm an audience off of it, and we'll look at um actual like videos and stuff like, or look at his like library. But like I said, I want to go into this one. I did watch a bit of it just to make sure, because once bitten, twice shy. But it seems pretty, yeah. So I tried to save as much as I could. But let's just get right into it. He did send 10 with the cakes that DSP tried. Oh, okay. Interesting. There's been a couple of like YouTubers who've been trying to like grift off of Phil. I'm like, why? But we'll save that. We'll save that for the video. But it's like, it is weird. There's another guy who was doing it, but they sent way more money. They sent like 250 or something like that. All right, let us do it. Hey there, how's it going? It's everyone's favorite Draconic Saber Wolf on the internet, and this time we're watching something a little different, which can be good or maybe not. This is not DSP. This is not Darkside Phil, but it does involve DSP. This is a furry who has decided to try and form a defense for Darkside Phil. And I did try to keep spoiler free. This dropped yesterday, and I was not here yesterday, or was not here the day it came out. So I didn't have a chance to react to it, and a bunch of people already did. That's a little late to the party, but you know, we'll give it a shot. I have some. I've seen a couple things from like X and whatnot reactions. I'll keep those opinions to myself. We're going to kind of go into it fresh, clean, good faith, all that. And see where it goes. So this is Time Lear G. So already the name smacks a little bit of kind of weird, but this is not a new account, so at least not that I saw. So maybe not. But let's go right into it. I did skip the first part where they like talked about kiwi farms and locale culture. I'm like, we know. If you're watching a Darkside Phil video, you know what a locale is. Or at the very least, like, you should be exposed to the concept. So we're going to go right into the defense of Darkside Phil. So, little furry versus furry, detractor versus dent. Let's see what happens, and let's go.
Just want to get some lols. Wanted to bring this up because this video is about DSP, Darkside Phil. And he has been a Let's Player for an absurdly long time, a streamer for an absurdly long time. I think the first videos I saw of him were around 2008 when he was that when he was playing, I believe it was either Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas. It's been so long now that I haven't, my memory is kind of fuzzy in regards to that. I used
because he's a furry. His mind's fuzzy. All right, I gotta stop doing that.
to watch
I'm gonna get copyright infringement if I keep doing that. Sorry guys if you see this.
a whole bunch of other YouTubers at the time, like the Creatures. Those guys were my favorite, honestly. But aside from that, I'm just going to be focusing on DSP, like I said. I think the hatred towards this person is so overblown and so unjustified that I felt the need to say it. I just have to say it. He just sits there and he streams, It doesn't matter that he begs for money. Who doesn't need money in this day and age? I'm not a material person. I'm not a materialistic person. I am very spiritual. But everybody needs money to survive. And going out of your way to insult him for that is wrong. It's, there's no necessity to do that. It's not.
All right. Already it sounds like they're coming from kind of a place of ignorance. you know, and not like ignorance, like, hey, they're stupid, you know, but like it's already smacking of either they don't follow or they kind of like came in and maybe read the cliff notes. Because the reason why people hate Darkseid Phil so much isn't just that he begs for money. That's what makes it funny. It's because he uses emotional manipulation tactics and oftentimes preys on more vulnerable people, allegedly, and that's where it comes from. So already it's not like it's an if you're not like true to, you're now lore master of DSP, you could miss that. So you know, I'm still, you know, on the ropes of what my opinion is. It's only been a minute, but already like the reason people hate Phil so much is because he's kind of a cult leader. Like he's literally, he employs emotional manipulation tactics, and you can look him up. Like there's, you know, separating the audience. There's trying to, you know, everyone's wrong and I'm right, and don't listen to thine, you know, lying ears or eyes. It's a lot of that. That's where people, and he's just an abrasive asshole too. Let's just say he's an abrasive asshole. Zurin says, asking for memberships or subscription is normal. Begging for extra like tips and donations is not normal. Right, like the over asking too is rough. And again, that just makes it cringe. My personal grievance against DSP is the whole emotional manipulation. But the begging is really cringe. You know, like Zurin said, it's not a call to action. A call to action is just fine. A call to action is once or twice saying, hey guys, by the way, I have this goal. I'm trying to do this thing. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You know, every fucking YouTuber says, you know, like and subscribe. But the amount of times he does it is unnatural to the point of bizarre. So let's keep going.
Not making him work harder. You know, it's not making him improve himself. You know, you're going at him for no reason. You know, you're better off spending your time elsewhere. You know, he doesn't care for all of the negative comments. You know, if anything, you're actually just helping him in the algorithm if you're actually just commenting in his comment section and, you know, giving him all this attention. And by the way, when you actually comment something negative to him, and he actually gives you the reaction that you're so desperately desiring, again, you're just going to clip that and give him more attention. You're going to say, oh, look, haha, you know, Darkseid Phil, look, he fell for the bait. He took the bait. He's laughing at it. He's getting angry about it. Okay. And I get it. Maybe you have a channel that's monetized and you're making money from that.
Okay, this is a lot of like, This is a DSP cope. Like, this is a DSP-ism of like, oh, the detractors are just doing it for the money. No, we're doing it because we don't like him. And I personally would love to see him no longer on the internet. That would be my personal... I know a lot of detractors are, you know, they want to keep him on. They want to keep him suffering. They want all that. I would be more than happy that this man gets off the internet so that he never hurts another person. Because there are people being hurt by Darkseid Phil. There are people that he preys on as a predator. You know, it's a monetary predator. It's he's taking their money and emotionally manipulating them, in my opinion, allegedly. And that is where a lot of viscera comes from. You know, back in the day, people did it just to... because they hated him. Like, there was no monetization. It's kind of a more recent thing, in my, like, from what I've seen. You know, and if I can make a couple, I can make a couple bucks off it. Yeah, okay, that's cool. You know, if I'm going to get a cake, and they're like, hey, would you like some ice cream for the cake? I'm not going to be like, no, I don't want that ice cream. I'm like, hell yeah, give me some ice cream on that cake. If I'm getting offered ice cream on my cake, I'm going to take the ice cream for the cake, motherfucker. So... you know, but monetization is such a small part of it. Most DSP detractors are making a couple bucks, 20, 30 bucks. Some might be making a couple hundred, but that's a real, like, DSP cope. And then the other part where it's, oh, you're just giving them attention. You're just giving them attention. See, I used to think that way too. There's a reason I did not do this for the longest time, even though I really want to get out the word of this to make sure other furries, especially, but other people in general, did not fall into DSP's trap, is that I could see that and be like, hey, look, he's a cult leader. Don't fall for the cult leader, you know. But the thing is, first of all, DSP is a cottage industry of, like, just content. You know, people who want to make stuff to laugh at and things like that. So there is that. He is right in that regard. As far as, like, clips and content and stuff like that, people love it. You know, and second of all, it's almost more dangerous not to point it out than it is to point it out. Like, he's saying, oh, you're just giving him attention and he gets more popular. That's true, but he's also a toxic, raging asshole. And he is boring as fuck. So the amount of people exposed to DSP, if they're not just outright, oh, I'm done, like, I don't want to see this, the people who are drawn into the vortex, 99 times out of 100, they're going to become a detractor. You know, 99 times out of 100, especially if it's through a detractor channel. Poofy says people going bankrupt for DSP, right? There's a guy who had like 3 or 4 bankruptcies for DSP. Zern says, I think he's trying to tell people not to hate watch or hate comment. It helps Phil more than hurts Phil. However, I think he's using it as a cover. People who don't hate watch might fall for that and think this dude is being reasonable, but I think it's done in bad faith. I think so too. Like I said, it's a DSP cope. It's a very common thing DSP says all the time. You know, and he's using it in a different perspective from an outsider opinion, but it's got the same weight. He's trying to say why, you know, basically do something better with your life. You know, don't. You're wasting your time, you're wasting your breath, you know, go do something different because this is not worth it or whatever. But, you know, that, first of all, people do what they want to do, so there's that. And second of all, it is almost a public service to make sure that Phil can't, you know, gain more people that he can just suck the life out of. Because he does. He's a vampire. He just sucks the life and money out of people who are more vulnerable to that kind of stuff. So, again, is he rage baiting? I don't know. Is he a DSP dent? It's out to limit. We'll keep going.
But again, you're also helping him in that manner. You know, I know in the past he's supposedly, allegedly tried to take down other people's videos. This was when he first started. People started making "This is how you don't play," right? Yeah. You know, people went out of their way to film him and, you know, take his recordings and edit it, which I have no problem with. Same with my own videos. If you want to take my own videos and edit them into a transformative work, you know, you can go ahead and do that. You are absolutely free to do so. You know.
Sweet. Thanks for the permission.
I personally will not copyright claim anything. But this was in the past.
Well, I hope not. That would make you kind of a bitch. But anyway, let's keep going.
He obviously does not do that anymore, as far as I'm aware. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't do that anymore because I think he realized at this point that, you know, there's been this joke going around that he's outliving every other YouTuber, every other, you know, quote-unquote content creator. I really don't like the phrase content creator. That is very corporate. But DSP has, you know, successfully survived the what happens to a whole lot of other people online, video makers, artists. A lot of people just go crazy after a while of being on the internet. And he survived it. You know, he is still surviving, and he's going to survive permanently. Like,
I think the gout might get him before that, but I did want, and Knight brought it up, and I want to touch back on that, where Knight says the only reason DSP doesn't go after people for copyright, it's too much like work. There's actually kind of a different reason, in my opinion, and it could be that too, but he did used to do it. It's just that copyright striking, especially when it's like kind of that vindictive copyright striking, is a bitch move. Like, you're just, especially if it's transformative work. If someone's just ripping, you know, like, there are certain detractors that do that, but if, you know, someone's taking the time to transform and then you copyright strike, it's in the YouTube community, it's kind of considered a bitch move, at least from what I've seen. So the other thing is DSP knows that if he copyright strikes someone, he has a whole like cottage industry of people that are gonna hit him back. You know, if he starts going after people, people are going to go after him, especially if he does it like in a false manner with false pretenses. If he starts doing that, people are just absolutely, first of all, he's going to lose whatever teeny tiny amount of like respect he has, which is not much. But, and the second thing is, he knows it would be like a nuclear war solution. And that's for a lot of content creators, you know, in YouTube, honestly. Like, if you start throwing that kind of stuff, you know, they could throw it back. It could get ugly. Most people think it's kind of a dick move, especially. So he doesn't do it as a matter of self-preservation. It's not like he learned something. It's just he knows that he will get it about 150 times worse than he can get it. In my opinion. Zern also brings up, surviving isn't living, surviving isn't thriving. Surviving is a bare minimum, and Phil is barely doing that. That was actually, I was going to bring that up next. Is Phil is a cockroach, but who wants to be a cockroach? You know, who wants to just survive on this platform? You know, I would love to, like, it's a thriving experience. It's, oh, I want to, you know, get big for different reasons. Entertainment. I love to entertain people. Money. People want to be huge, like, have videos that go viral and get them a whole bunch of money. Clout or, you know, fame or just influence, stuff like that. You know, people do it for different reasons. Phil just does it because he doesn't know how to do anything else. Phil is trapped. It's not that he's, you know, doing well in this environment and he's, you know, beating all the trolls and detractors and other channels. He literally is in a prison of his own creation. He cannot escape what he has made for himself because he doesn't know how to do anything else. There's where the desperation comes from. You know, like Knight says, to quote 7-9, survival is insufficient. If you're on YouTube and your objective is survive, you have fucked up, in my opinion. You have definitely fucked up. You know, you should be, this is a passion thing. Like, you should be doing this for the love of the game or because, you know, you care about your community. Phil does not care about his community. Phil does not have passion for video games anymore. Phil just wants a magic potion on YouTube to get as much money as possible. And then, because he has a lot of addictive personality disorders, in my opinion, and a lot of other bad habits, he will never leave. He will never escape because he never saves. He doesn't have any retirement. He doesn't put anything towards any assets. He is literally trapped in that cycle forever until he decides one day to stop, which will be never, because that will require willpower. And we all know Darkside Phil does not have willpower.
I don't think anything can bring him down. You know, he survived that one situation where he made a mistake on stream, and, you know, he was trying to deny it at first, but, you know, he's a good guy. Honestly, Darkside Phil,
he's objectively not a good guy. Like, that one we're going to vehemently oppose on that one. Phil is not a good person. Phil is a selfish, narcissistic asshole who basically has found a way to leech off of a select group of people and does so for, you know, like a vampire. He is very much like a vampire. You know? Knight says Phil will literally die before he gives up the grift. Yeah, I've called it. One day he will die in that chair. And that will be the end of the legacy of Darkside Phil. He might be on stream, he might not be. But my money is that one day Darkside Phil will be found dead in that chair. And that's just my... And that's because he's trapped. He can't get out of it.
is, I would even say, amazing. You know, maybe that's going a little bit too far in your opinion, but...
That's a little rage. Like, that... I don't even know of dents that call him amazing. Like, ooh, you may have tipped your hand a little too far there, Line Tier, or Time Lear, or whatever the fuck. That was a little, that's a little telling. That's a little bit of a tell. Let's keep going, though.
he took it on the chin, and he said he had a laugh about it. He was joking about what happened on the stream all those years ago. Yeah, it'll go down in history. Yeah, but you know what? That's him going down in history. It's not that specific moment. It's that's what I think about all those negative videos directed towards him. You are helping his legacy. And I don't even think he needs help with that. He does have a legacy of his own. He's created how many videos on it? How many?
You know who else has a legacy? Hitler. I wouldn't want that one though. Like having a legacy, that is a very thin veneer of which to put on a mask. Like, oh, he's going to have a legacy. Not all legacies are good legacies. And I forget who said it, but they said it was very poignant, where the legacy of Phil will be seen through the lens of his detractors. Because the detractors control the narrative. And Phil's legacy is a begging, narcissistic, brokey bum who is a toxic fuck, salty as all get out, and the worst game player on the internet. Like, it's kind of like the whole, like, there's a difference between famous and infamous. Like, it's the same thing. So, yeah, that's not a good argument. That's a terrible argument to have for this. Oh, it's just bad. It's not good. During says, not even sure he counts as a survivor. He's a straggler left behind, struggling to cling on for dear life, continuously failing to adapt. Yeah, this man adapts about as well as a rock. And Zuri says, how can May 1st be his legacy, but not what he did on May 1st? We just don't remember random people without remembering what they did. Yeah, usually when you're remembered for something, Like, it's not just like, oh, you remember Aristotle? It's like, yeah, he was a cool guy. No, it's like, oh, it's Aristotle, one of the greatest philosophers of his age. Like, there's always a thing after that. There's always a qualifier, as it were. It's not just, hey, remember Darkside Phil? It's like, oh, yeah, I remember that guy. Like, no, it's going to be like, hey, remember Darkside Phil? It's like, yeah, the guy who got caught masturbating on camera. Like, that's going to be it. And that's all his legacy will probably be, in all honesty. It'll be in a book of lol cows, with Darkside Phil being the world's, like, the king of the beggars, and also the May 1st burst.
How many Let's Plays? He's I think he's almost has the same amount of videos as Seamus does, which is absolutely, that's incredible. That is an achievement right there. And people try to say how bad he is at video games.
He is.
And I think what people are missing out here is, I'm getting older, Phil is getting older, and we're all getting older here. And I started noticing my own gameplay is actually getting worse the more I age. I'm only 28 right now. I'm pretty young, and that's it's just, well, that could be due to my health reasons as well. But besides the point. We're all getting older here. You can't expect someone to play and do good, especially when they're live streaming. I think what a lot of people don't understand is when you're actually streaming, it's like it's 100% increase of this is just my own opinion here. 100%. There's no statistics for this. Obviously, it's just something I made up.
God damn, I thought I was long-winded. I'm just gonna make this comment because otherwise I'm gonna forget by the time he's finished with his fucking statement. The person who brings up the gameplay the most is Phil. Phil is the one, the greatest enemy when it comes to like the whole gameplay thing is Phil, because he believes he is the greatest thing to happen to gaming. He can pick up a controller and play any game at a professional level. Now, granted, that was a decade ago. So, but if you ever watch him play or listen to him play, the game dropped my inputs. The game dropped my, like, even now he thinks that he is God's gift to gaming. He is not. And that's where a lot of that disconnect comes from. That's where a lot of the people saying, "Oh, hey, you suck at games." It's because one, it gets a reaction because like, "Oh, I don't suck at games. It's the fucking, the gamepad. It's the leg. It's input leg. It's the rollback netcode." And second of all, yeah, if he would acknowledge he's getting older, then they probably wouldn't like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm oh man, getting older," stuff like that. Knight says, "Okay, dude, I've streamed games that does not affect my gameplay," and I will give him a little bit on that because, well, and not for Phil, because Phil doesn't fucking react with he doesn't react with his chat except for like when he's paused the game and looking like for how to play the game. Also, his chat handholds him for every fucking game he ever plays. So there's that. But if he was actually a good streamer, like I've played games and I've looked at the chat and then I've died because I was looking at the chat. I was seeing what the chat was doing. I can give a little leeway for that, but at the same time, he locks in and he still sucks. So I can't even give him that one. Zergan says 0 good faith and no points to actually defend. Lots of hot air and fluff to fill out the argument. What? Fill out the argument? Whoa. Okay, I gotta stop. Alright. But yeah. And Poofy, he says, like him dying the first enemy in the GoldenEye at 007, right? Now, some of that's performative, but a lot of the times he's just so, and it's not just his age, it's his mental health. It's the fact that he drinks a lot, allegedly, And Zergan says, after 20 years, a normal person would have adapted, right? I will never probably come up here. I'm 40, by the way. I'm 4 years old. I am never going to come up here and be like, I'm going to be the top one game, like, speed runner for this game or that game or the top content. No, I know that my prime gaming years are probably ahead of me. I play for fun. It's just, it is kind of a bad faith argument in that regard. He's trying to say like everyone ages. Like, yeah, but Phil really hammers on the fact that like it's not him. He does nothing wrong. He does everything right according to him. It's never he dies. The game killed him. He didn't die. The lag killed him. If he just would admit that he died more than once a stream, he would probably do better. Plus, he was objectively bad at the start of his career, so like age, yeah.
But when you're live streaming, you are in a completely different mindset. You are not paying attention. You're trying to read the chat. You're trying to focus on the game.
He doesn't,
and
though.
Talk at the same time. The talking is the important part. Now, I don't blame the public.
He doesn't, though. He doesn't talk to his chat. He pauses the game and then he begs, and that's it. Or he'll point out, "Oh, look, that's a rock." That takes about a fourth of a brain cell in order to like put out there. So that's rejected. I'm going to crumple that one right up and throw it right out the fucking window. Like, sorry, just that's how it is.
For saying, haha, look how bad he's doing. I don't blame the public at all for that, because a lot of people don't stream, and I'm not saying they should either. I'm just simply saying that, they can do whatever they want. I'm just saying, you can stream, you can't stream, just whatever. Do whatever you want. I'm not trying to tell you what you can and can't do, but when you're actually...
This is just a personal point, but this whole, like, oh, like, whatever, do what you... Like, this non sequiturs, if you're putting up, like, a defense argument for someone, fucking don't. Like, you gotta stop doing that. Like, if this is a serious thing, the whole, like, oh, by the way, anyone can do what... No, just... stick to the fucking concept that you're trying to put out there. Like, don't go on these weird things. It's very derailing.
Sitting there and talking and trying to play the game at the same time, it's completely different from when you're sitting alone in your room, just looking at your monitor,
right,
looking at your TV, your CRT.
Also, the looping, it's not helping as well. Like, you asked and answered, please move on. Move on, please. Objection, asked and answered, please get to the next fucking point.
Depending on what game you're playing. And it's a completely different skill set that you have. When you're alone sitting in your room, you're going to play very well. You're going to play absurdly well, at least most of the time. And when you're actually streaming there, you can't play for any, like, it is so bad. You know, and I say the dumbest things on stream as well when I don't intend to. There's a
I mean, he says he supports DSP, so I can believe this.
lot of lack of context with a lot of DSP clips as well. And hey, there's a lot of them with context that still look pretty bad, to be fair. All right, you know, we all make mistakes, but at the end of the day, when you're sitting there trying to read chat, when you're trying to talk at the same time and play a game, there was this one recent clip of him playing the new Resident Evil game. I think it was called Resident Evil Requiem. When he's sitting there playing that, there was an enemy that's coming out of the ground or something and trying to rush after him. I haven't played the RE games a whole bunch, by the way. I think I was around 5 when I actually tried to play.
Oh my god,
RE2,
get the fuck on with it, my dude.
You know, with the tank controls and everything, I was just not having a good time. I remembered the intro where, tell me if I have the wrong game here, but there's like a zombie crawling on the ground, and, you know, it's trying to bite at your ankles, and you're supposed to, like, aim down, get them. You know, I was having a bad time there. I was so young.
Let's go.
Later on GameCube, when Resident Evil 4 came out, I believe.
I am here to talk about Dark Side Phil. I don't want to hear about this fucker's, like, come on, man. Like, let's go. It's already too long. Let's pick it up here. Pick up the pace. Like, oh, actually, Poofy, yeah, we're gonna 2x the personal anecdotes here, because I could not give any less of a fuck if I tried.
I played that for a little bit, but I have started to get into the RE games more recently. But anyway, that's aside the point. I just wanted to point out my history with it in case anyone's like, you know, this creature coming out of the ground is actually this character. It's like, okay, I didn't play the series too much anyway. But you know, there's this creature coming out of the ground. He's trying to rush after Phil. And you have the modern yellow paint kind of stuff appearing on the screen where it says press RT to shoot.
Which, by the way, Phil is directly responsible for yellow paint in video games, which has been pointed at as one of the potential contributors of the degradation of games. So, you know, just at that.
And he's like, shoot what? He's like looking around. And that's one of those things, right? He could have just obviously just not been paying attention. And it looks ridiculous to everybody. And other streamers do this as well, by the way. It's just simply due to the fact it's DSP, Dark Side Phil. Just simply due to the fact it's him. That's why people point it out for him specifically and not other YouTubers, not other streamers, not other, you know, creators. It's just, that's the reason for it.
No, like, okay. No, the reason why people point it out is because Darkside Phil will then seethe and just fucking grind his teeth, and a lot of people find that to be hilarious. You know, and again, he takes it so seriously. A lot of the other streamers he's probably talking about would probably brush it off. It's like, oh, where did that prompt come from? Like, oh, like, you know, or I get a thing from chat. It's like, oh, there was a prompt there? Oh, man, like, I better find my glasses or something. You know, they make a joke about it. But Phil is such a fucking egotistical asshole that he sees every time someone brings it up. And if you don't believe me, ask him about bananas and denim. I rest my case. You know, like, Zern says that you need all the frivolous dialogue because there's no good argument for Phil to fill out the argument and distract from the lack of good defense put. Yeah, oh yeah, no, it's that's why I don't like people when they put non sequiturs in defensive and stuff, like in defense. If this was just like what I think about Darkside Phil, you know, I would be a little more lenient, but it's like in defense of Darkside Phil. Like, I was expecting a diatribe, kind of like something more put together. This is a very, like, it's very fluffy, I guess, as a furry, but it's not good. It's not good. It's just not a good argument for, especially against people who would actually know about the lore of Darkside Phil. It's, you know, anyone who can argue against this, and maybe it is aimed for people who have, like, no idea. But that's also kind of that's a skeevy thing to do, and it's the reason why I'm here. Haha, you know, protecting furries from Darkside Phil. It's why I do this, because arguments like this, where people come in, it's like, oh, Phil's not such a bad guy, and then they might catch Phil on a good day where he got $150 and he's actually just kind of being his normal spastic self. But yeah, like it really, like, you know, I don't know if it's rage baiting yet, or if it's there's a couple of points where it's like, maybe, but like as far as like just a good defense argument, it's fallen way fucking short.
You know, it's just simply due to the fact that you don't see anybody pointing this out with anybody else. It's
People get hold on, stop the presses. People point out other streamers' shit all the fucking time. There is an entire Reddit called Live Stream Fails. There is there are entire groups dedicated to certain streamers, not just Phil. That's why the whole subsect of lolcows exist. Like the whole like, oh no one does it to, you know, to anyone else other than Darkside Phil. Bitch, I have people do it to me. And I have like 8 people in my chat, and they actually like me. And they give me shit all the time. You think that the streaming community doesn't get, like, their audience does, like, for streamers, the audience doesn't, like, rag on them if they make a mistake? It's just Phil is extra fucking salty, so he gets extra fucking attention.
with my own streams as well. You know, I sometimes say things.
Yeah, what Zern just said, it's half the reason I show up. He's one of my fucking moderators. Like, come on, man. Like, that's part of the game, man. That's why Phil sucks so bad. Is because he can't handle that. He needs a whole group of people who kiss his ass every 5 seconds. He doesn't want anyone to challenge him. He doesn't want anyone to take the piss from him. Like, if this man actually joked around with his audience, he might actually be a decent streamer. But he can't, so he's not. Knight says it's 75% of the reason he shows up. Ban him. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Things that don't make any sense in terms of the game because I'm simply just not paying attention to the game sometimes. You know, I'll say something that's happening right in front of me and I'm like, oh, I didn't see that.
Okay.
That's happened so many times to me. And people don't point it out because, you know, I'm not DSP.
Or they want to be nice, or they don't care.
I guess oh, by the way, when I was talking about Kiwi Farms before, you know, I know they have their own slang term for those who actually try to get involved in other people's lives. I actually forgot what that term actually is, but
detractors.
You know, sometimes it's not people that are on there that go out and do this stuff. Like I said, not all users go after others on there.
Why are we suddenly on fucking Kiwi Farms? Like, this is getting, like, does he have, like, is this a vehicle for going against Kiwi? In the next 5 minutes, I better not just be talking about Kiwi Farms. Otherwise, I'm going to be very upsetty spaghetti. If this was just a vehicle for, like, his actual seed against, like, Kiwi Farms or whatever.
Thankfully. You know, it's not everybody on that platform. There's some, like I said, there's some good people on Kiwi Farms, but there's this group of people that it's this group, which is, I don't think they're associated with Kiwi Farms. They didn't start there. I could be wrong on that. I apologize if I am. If I have some information correct here, feel free to correct me. But there was this one group who I'm not going to name who made it their entire purpose. Their entire purpose was to just ridicule and criticize, supposedly criticize DSP, you know, accusing DSP of doing a whole bunch of stuff allegedly. And, you know, I used to watch them until they had a falling out where there was a lot of allegations going around about them. I'm not a...
So he used to be a DSP detractor? I know what group he's talking about. I'm just going to get to the end before I go into the lore of it, as he should have done in his argument.
A fan of internet drama, but that sounded like some pretty bad stuff. And it turns out there was quite a few people in that group that were doing pretty bad things. One of their members supposedly passed away, and I believe, allegedly, supposedly, one of the leaders of that group said something after one of their members passed away, sadly, from cancer, like blaming it on them for the person passed. Like, they blamed it on the person who passed away.
Okay, this is just fucking useless, too. Okay, so he's talking about the Sons of Kojima. The Sons of Kojima was a group, an anti-Phil group, and it was, I think, I don't know when, 5-6 years ago. It was before my time. But a lot I saw it in the June the King documentary. If you want to know more about, like, this group, I particularly glazed over that section because I didn't really care. But the Sons of like a lot of people like for the Sons of Kojima, like a lot of people even think that they did go too far. You know, a lot of like the modern day detractors, which I don't believe that group exists anymore. So, you know, his whole argument of like, hey man, there was this group that it was like 8 years ago did bad things. Like, yeah, no, a lot of people agree. That doesn't make Phil any less of an asshole. Like, you know, I myself, like, if the allegations are true, you know, and if they did do doxing or swatting or death threat, like, those are things you do not do. Like, that you don't do those. That's not, like, in the realm of the internet, even in what they call, like, internet blood sports, like, that is considered foul. Like, you don't involve people's, like, real lives in that kind of stuff. At least you shouldn't, but, you know, there are quite a few that thought the Sons of Kojima did go too far. So, but what I'm like, and again, I'm going to rag on them a little bit because they put themselves in the spotlight, so they deserve to get the critiques from putting themselves there. I think you should have been the one to say this, you know? He should have been the one to bring up, like, it was the Sons of Kojima, because it wasn't like a hate group that burned down Phil's house. There was some doxing apparently. One of them, I think that one of them did the bank leaks. This is a lot of lore though. I'm not going to go all into it, but if you want to like shore up your argument, like, oh, Phil's been victimized before and stuff like that, you should have brought up the whole Sons of Kojima thing and what happened there, instead of this weird diatribe of like, oh, you know, there's this group and I watched them, but they had drama and one of them died of cancer. And like, this is not an argument. This is a story. Like, if I wanted that, I would go back and watch June the King because he did it better. You know, it's a weird, it's not a defense. It's more of a cope. This is a cope.
Which,
a very fluffy cope.
if that's actually true, which I don't know if it is, which it's just such a terrible thing to say and do. And obviously, like I said in the last video, I'm not one to be surprised by this stuff. I've been on the internet for a long time, you know, in the Wild West days of the internet, but it's just terrible. You know, at the end of the day, it's just a lot of things that this group did was very questionable. They tried to make themselves seem so morally correct over DSP, where to the point they actually now, you know, they could have done this out of their own goodwill, but they wrote their own name on they donated to have a well put into Africa, a water well, supposedly, and they supposedly put their own name on it and posted it all over social media, allegedly, supposedly, just to try to, I guess, try to get one over on Phil, supposedly, allegedly. I don't.
Stop saying supposedly, allegedly. Like, like, you only need to say one or the other, you know, unless you're making a joke of it, like, you know, but so who cares? They donated a well, like, oh, they're trying to be morally superior. So does every other fucking group. Like, this is not like an argument for, and again, they're fixating on one group of detractors that has been debunked for like half a decade by this point. I think at least half a decade, maybe even a decade. You know, the Sons of Kojima are so old news. They're just a footnote in the June the King documentary. And Phil is a douchebag now. So he has no excuse. Like, I would say, in all honesty, the detractors' fear for Darkseid Phil has actually decreased in intensity since the Sons of Kojima era. There are more of them. There are a lot more than there were before. But as far as like how far people will go, it's way less, which is a good thing. Again, doxing, swatting, all that stuff is bad. We all agree it's bad. Knight says you can't control what people do to you, but you do control how you react. Phil has chosen to react with hate and disinterest in being a better person. And that's exactly it. 95% of Phil's problems could be solved if he would just brush it off. If you just brush it off, or if you would just be not an asshole, like, he would be golden. Hell, even if he was just one of those two things, he could probably increase his audience or whatnot. But he's incapable of it, because the man has nothing but hate in his heart. You know, he is he's a victim of his own devices. Knight says, also, I love how he talks about the Wild West days of the internet as if we are still in it. Also, this bitch is 28. Like, I'm 40. Like, I was actually there when the internet was, like, coming about. Like, so, but, that's just a funny little thing. In certain sense occasion, bad people get something right. Doesn't make him good, or people who agree with that singular point bad. Phil can be a piece of shit at the same time as the sons of whoever can be a piece of shit. Exactly. And it's kind of a false equivalency. Not quite, but it's the best term I can think of. A false equivalency. Like, the detractors in this group were bad, therefore all detractors are bad. Or, the detractors are bad, therefore Phil is good. That's not it. That's not mutually exclusive. Phil can be bad, and then the Sons of Kojima can also be bad. And a lot of people, even detractors, say the Sons of Kojima went too far, then that they were bad. So, it's just not a good argument for someone who is as toxic as Phil is.
I don't know. It's stuff like that where you might notice a lot of people that try to bring others down online, who try to talk bad about others online. You might notice that they try to act more morally correct than that person. I've seen that with myself online a whole bunch as well. I've had people call me a degenerate, a whole bunch of other stuff, saying I'm a bad person for basically no reason. It's just kind of
funny. It's because you're a furry. Like, let's be completely honest. I get it. You get it. All furries get it. Like, that's not even a thing. Knight says it's easy to be a bad person, Phil. Yeah, it's very easy.
And, I don't mind it at all. I don't mind what other people say about me. Sticks and stones and all that. It's just strange watching others try to be more morally correct, as if they're on a moral high ground, a moral high horse. And then just for no reason, really. I mean, you're already making fun of somebody, and you're already trying to bring somebody else down. Why are you trying to act like you're morally correct about it? Are you, trying to cover up something? Are you, And by the way, I'm not talking about anybody in specific here. I'm seriously just going on a tangent about just those kind of people as a whole. The group of people that I was talking about before, kind of irrelevant to what I'm talking about now. I wanted to bring them up before, just for the sake of it, because, like I said, people try to have a moral high ground over you. It's like they're trying to find any scrap of evidence of the other person doing something bad just so they can try to act morally superior to that person. They'll try to, find some kind of viewpoint that contradicts theirs and their biased beliefs. It's terrible, but we're going into a political territory now, so I'm not going to be talking about politics too much in this video.
I hope. Well, no, you shouldn't, because Phil's not involved with politics, so I don't know why you would even bring that up. So, Zern says, let's not use that tired and false phrase. Sticks and stones can break your bones, but words can destroy you. Well, especially in today's day and age, like a word in the right mouth to the right ear, and you're finished. Like, you're done. You're just a done person. But like, the whole like moral superiority argument, and again, this is another kind of Phil-ism. So I don't know. I'm leaning a little more towards this guy being a dent, but it's still. But like, I don't like when people bring that one up, especially because the people use it as a cloak. It's like trim board on a wall. It covers a lot of sins, a lot of mistakes. If you cut wrong on the top, or if you have I've been redoing my office, but like, so it's construction work, but it hides a lot of sins, a lot of flaws, because you put up something in front of it and, oh, that looks pretty. It's the same thing with what are you trying to hide if you're being morally superior? Fuck you. Nothing. Like, there's a lot of people are just doing it because they don't like Phil. And a lot of people don't have a moral superior. A lot of people are doing it just for the fucking lulz. Some people are doing it for money, and a couple people probably do hate Phil because he's a scumbag and a scammer. And, I'm kind of in the latter of those categories. But the whole like, oh, you think you're better than Phil? Yes, I do. I am objectively better than Phil. Like, and maybe one day I'll find out, oh, he donates to Habitat for Humanity, or he gives all his time and money to charities, and he's, the greatest philanthropist on the face of the earth. I doubt it. And it's like, so the whole, what were you like? Nothing. Again, it's the whole mutually exclusive thing. Just because Phil's bad doesn't mean the people who are razzing him aren't also bad, but they still have a point. Stern says the right ear, or the right words in the right ear, or wrong ear, or even your very own ear. It's all about, it is time and delivery. That's true. Poofy said he did mention in the beginning about Blue Sky somehow related to. Oh, we skipped that part. That's probably it. We might have skipped because it was like all about Kiwi Farms. Like, I'm not here about Kiwi Farms. I'm here about fucking Phil. This is wrapping up though, so let's hear the end of the argument again. Though the whole the moral high ground argument, that's a straw man argument. That's a bullshit argument.
To be fair, I already mentioned Blue Sky before. If there's one thing I had to say to those that say the things they do about DSP, and probably some people are going to be saying the same things in the comments, asking why I'm defending him, saying that DSP can be hateful sometimes. I know he's the self-proclaimed king of hate. I think that's more so of a persona of his. But, there are moments where he becomes upset, he becomes frustrated, he becomes emotional at times. And there's situations where he regrets the things that he says, and there's moments that might make you seem like he doesn't care about his viewers.
There are many, many moments where he doesn't care about his viewers. And also with the whole part about, like, he regrets what he says, point it out. Like, point out any time where he actually makes a meaningful apology about anything he said. And I'm not talking about the bullshit one they did because he got caught in 4K berating his chat and it left the vortex and hit some big streamers. And then he apologized to save face. Show me a time when the one time I think he was actually being genuine was when he got super fucking drunk. I think it was on his birthday stream. And then said he loved his wife. That one I could actually believe, and I think it's because his wife hates him. But that's an allegedly, supposedly, or whatever the fuck he said. Knight says persona implies personality. Phil has none, not even a fake one. Well, and he's talking about, I think back in the day where, the King of Hate moniker. So he was just playing at being. I mentioned this, I think, a couple videos ago. Actually, this thing where he's like, "Oh, that was old Phil." This is real Phil. I'm like, no, old Phil was real Phil. It's just you've learned to curb your fucking more outrageous tendencies, your edginess, as it were, and in my opinion, being a racist or playing as a racist is almost as bad, is not worse than being an actual racist, because at least a racist is racist. Someone playing at a racist is just going to be a douchebag, and not talking about like edgy humor or stuff like that. If someone's being like, because there's a couple times that it borders the line in the old stuff. Now, maybe it was taken out of context, I don't know. But at the very least, Phil's hate persona, that's him. That's just him. And if he's playing at being that kind of hated person and getting people to hate him, well, then he deserves all the hate he gets. And to say, oh, guys, that wasn't me. There were real people probably hurt by what he said. Should they be like, oh, it's just a bit? Oh, well, then you're fine. If I punch someone, it's like, it's just a bit, and they go, oh, okay, well, all's forgiven. It doesn't matter. I still caused the injury. I still caused the harm to happen. Whether, I hate the whole, like, it was just a prank, bro. Well, you still did something, and you don't get the freedom of consequences by saying it's a joke. Now, some people don't care. Some jokes are worse than others. Some, I don't want to go into like the semantics of who said what and this said this and like how racist was Phil, but to try and be like, oh, he just put on a mask of that. And it's like, well, he put on the mask, which means he chose the mask. You know, he chose to have the racist mask. He chose to have the hate mask. So what does that say about him? If he was comfortable enough with that he was comfortable with, he should be comfortable with what he gets from it. You know, I always have a saying for myself. Now, you know, with what I create and stuff like that, I always have something for me where if I'm ashamed to do something, I will not do it. If there is something that I could do, but I would be shameful of that, I don't do it. Because at the end of the day, I have to sleep at night with myself and what I've done. And I don't want to push it off, even if it's just a persona, even if it's just something like that. I still have to sleep at night, knowing what I've done and who I've done things to. Knight says, yeah, it's cool. I just see my nose realigned, asshole, right? Ruckus says, I honestly think he'd be more popular if he went full hog into the King of Hate, if he could swallow his pride and be a heel. Or he could have made Keemstar numbers. I mean, in all honesty, from a performance aspect, probably. I think that's what the King of Casino were trying to do when they were doing stuff with him. Like, apparently they were trying to, you know, and of course, we won't actually know the truth, because Phil says one thing, they say another thing, but they were trying to get him to lean into that, and in all honesty, he probably could have made Mad Bank. If he leans into the trolls, if he leaned into being the asshole, if he leaned into all that stuff, he probably could make Mad Bank, in all honesty. And if he gave a I give no fucks, a lot of his detractors would probably be like, oh, well, you know, he's not bothered by it, why should I? You know, in all honesty, it would be a much better career path for him than what he's doing right now. But he gets so butthurt over every just little thing, every little like criticism. He couldn't handle it. His head would probably explode. All right, let's get this one finished up. We're almost at an hour.
That one infamous quote he made where he's, you know, quote unquote, thanking his viewers for the views and everything, which is most likely taken out of context. I personally don't remember what the original context was, but there are.
He had a whole website called The King of Hate, my dude. Like, that's. It wasn't like, oh, he said king and hate in the same sentence. Like, that was his literal moniker for, like, all the way up in, I think, like, until he started doing actual live streaming. I don't know, like, the exact date. This is way before my time, but.
Moments where he genuinely does get upset, and I just think that, you know, a whole lot of people don't really have forgiveness in their hearts, and at the end of the day, don't we all act the same way he does? Don't we all say
Abso-fucking-lutely not. Like, are you kidding me? Like, if you measure anyone up against Darkside Phil is going to come up short every single time. Unless you're getting, like, actual, like, real scumbags. Like, other lol cows, okay, now you might have, like, you know, something you could do there, but, like, what is this, like, aren't we all like this? No. In fact, I usually am pretty generous about, like, if I'm getting commission work and stuff like that and making sure people are okay and stuff, as, you know, like, that is just the wildest statement we probably heard. It's how the fuck can you attempt to defend somebody and constantly be missing so much context? Well, that's why I bashed him on that before with the Suns thing. But yeah, like, it's very wishy-washy. I don't even think it's rage baiting because it's done so ineffectively. You know, there are some moments you could put up that you probably could get like some decent, especially from like detractors. Like if I wanted to like LARP as a Phil Dent and make a video like this, I could probably get all the hatred. Like I could probably get everyone to be like, this guy sucks and we hate him. Like this is like, oh, this guy is like not informed about anything. Like he honestly could have watched the June the King documentary and had much better arguments than the one he's putting up. So I don't know. Like, is he a Phil Dent? Is he a tourist? I'm between like Phil Dent, who is just one of those like they come by every so often and throw money, and just a tourist. And a tourist who might be trying to like do something for clout or do something for views or something like that. I don't even think it's a rage bait. I think it's just a clout chase. Could be.
the same things he does sometimes? Isn't it only natural that we say and do the same things that Phil does at times?
Oh shit. Well,
Before the video begins,
that was it. No outro, just a fucking final thoughts Springer style. Ruckus says he could watch Turkey Tom, God forbid, right? I mean, there's so many documentaries about Darkside Phil, especially in like the last couple of years. You know, like, I don't know, like, is this rage? Like, a couple I've seen on the internet, a couple people say this is just rage bait, this is just clickbait. Oh, Zern's got an interesting theory. Maybe he's friends with Phil's pet dragon. Is that true? Do you know Darziak? The time liturgy? All I can think of with his name is Key Lime Pie. How to drain your dragon. Oh, that's a good one. I like that one. That's I still kind of think that Bookworm is Darziak. I can't prove it. It's just a gut feeling. After that Slay the Spire 2 stream, I feel it in my bones. But it could be. I mean, for some reason, furries get attracted to Darkside Phil, and I can kind of understand it. Furries as a community have I've always said, furries have a big heart and are bad with money. And I mean, we have the whole furry economy, for fuck's sake, man. Like, it's just like Stalking Tiger and Darziak and all them. I don't bring them up too often because it's just, a dent's a dent. It's like I don't bring up Jack Raxer. I bring up LGG, but it's because he's a troll. So, I don't feel bad because he's trolling, I'm trolling. It's back and forth. But, yeah, when it comes to furries, like, I don't understand why it's always fucking furries that glom onto Darkside Phil. Darziak, Stalking Tiger. I think, who was it that came out to... or that they found out was there's another one, like 2 or 3 other ones that they found. It's like, it's always like a dolphin that does it. Zern says, think he makes his dragon friend wear denim? Oh, that way he can squeeze the dragon's banana. He's never gonna fucking live that down. Zern says, and furries are dumb and or oblivious. Yeah, no, not wrong. Ruckus says, no offense, but a lot of dented people are furries. Not saying furries are dense, but dents are furries. Yeah. No, I agree. I actually agree with that. And again, it's one of the reasons I do what I do, and I've done it with, like, Darkside Phil, and the other ones are kind of more for the lulz, but, like, I especially do it for Darkside Phil as kind of a PSA. And, like I said, big hearts, bad with money, kind of easily manipulable, and it's a lot, I feel like, and I'm going to, like parapsychology and stuff like that, which I'm not obviously trained on or have any. It's just my experience in the fandom, is that we're all kind of outcasts and loners by nature. So when someone offers us, especially if they kind of haven't really like glommed on to the furry community, or they're kind of, even if like the community hasn't adjusted to them, they'll try and find acceptance anywhere. And Phil, again, is an emotionally manipulative bastard. So the most common type of people to fall into that trap are outcasts. So, and if you're a furry and you're a DSP supporter, if you want that kind of stuff, come on over here. Just come on over here. I don't even want your money. Just come on over. We'll talk. We'll have some laughs. I'm not like most of the detractors where, like, if you give money to Phil, you're a dent and you're always a dent and you'll forever be a dent. If you truly repent from the DSP and, want to seek salvation in the light of detractorism, I don't know, I should have thought that through. But, like, I will, just come on over. Just come on over. Like... Zern says Phil will accept you, just give him a tip or a tip. That's true. And there's a reason why Darziak was probably the main editor. I wouldn't be surprised if the others were too. Ruckus says, also, I don't think furries are more gravitated towards Phil, but the furries who are or get springboarded by detractors, like they're easier targets. That is true. I will say this, as a furry detractor, I have gotten quite a few comments. I've gotten quite a few comments. I'll just say that. They were not nice. Do I care? No, because I'm 40 and a furry, and I've heard it all. I've seen it all. I don't give a shit. But, like, you know, for someone who's 28 or 20, you know, like a younger furry especially, and, you know, they're like, who's Phil? And it's like, ew, a furry. It's like, I could see that. I could definitely see that. And again, another reason why this is here. You know, and I offer, for the Saber Wolf Cafe is open to detractors of all kinds. I don't give a shit, you know. Just don't be, you know, an outright terrible person, and we'll get along. But, like, you know, it is, you know, the detractor community does kind of have, like, some work for that. Knight says, just make sure to paint your tips yellow so that he can see it. Oh boy, yeah, he's got to make sure you. Again, we came up with that theory that Phil can only, like, Phil's yellow paint fixation and the banana and denim are linked together because of that. Like, he had to have the yellow on the dick so he could actually find it, and therefore, bananas. Ruckus says Kino Casino did more for Phil's career than any dent or detractor, and we've forgiven them. I mean, yeah, like, I think, like, they've been doing better than ever from what I've seen when, you know, I'm actually able to see them. Like, especially with their DSP segments, like, the detractors love the Kino Casino. You know, I enjoy their Phil segments. It's one of their best segments, but I'm kind of biased. So, like, it's, you know, I could see it. And, you know, I think, and I'm not expecting detractors to suddenly open their arms to the furry community. I'm not going to expect that, nor do I, you know, petition for it. But, you know, if you want Phil to have less support, you know, that's maybe the enemy of my enemy is my friend, as it were, you know, and not even just me. Otherwise, you know, whatever. I will say that I want to make this perfectly clear too. I've interacted with other detractors who are super cool. I don't want to paint this as like, oh, like the detractors are all anti-furries. Like, I've gotten a couple comments and they're like, oh man, like this was great, this was the best, and I'm like, hell yeah, let's fucking do it. And like, you know, or what a treat, a VTuber going up against another VTuber with the iDubbbz thing. So I don't want to like paint the like, oh, they're all fucking, you know, they're furry haters and stuff like that. So, and again, I don't give a shit. So like, it's all cool, it's all good. I'm gonna keep detracting against Phil. You guys keep detracting against Phil. If we have to do it separate, that's great. If we do it together, that's cool. But, you know, stuff like this, it's really a nothing. And the comments, I have to say, were crazy. Oh, there are a lot of furry detractors. I don't get furry detractors on my timeline. I've even, like, looked. Wait, like furry detractors for Phil or furry detractors in general? Now I'm actually let me end this video like first, because now we're kind of shooting the shit with my chat. If you like what you saw here, please make like a werewolf and like and subscribe. I very much appreciate it. If you made it to the end here, that is very cool of you. I very much appreciate it and hope to see you in the next one. Sorry, I noticed that we were past an hour, so, but like probably more furry detractors than I gotta start. Why are they not showing up on my timeline? Now I'm upset. Like, I would have been totally watching furry detractors, man. Damn. Yeah, I was starting to bad. I realized that there at the end there, it's like, oh shit, I'm getting to. I might actually like go in there and kind of cut that last little. I probably won't, but yeah, I was starting to go off, and it's like. That's more streaming Seraphim. That's not YouTube Seraphim. So, but it was an issue. I get a like from a furry every time I tweet about him. Oh, that way. Okay. Okay. Oh, I thought like. I was talking more like furry detractors who like create content, but like furry likes that. I do know YouTube probably still hates furries. That's probably true. There was one commenter who I always saw on detractor streams, and I'm like, another furry, yay. I do know there's a couple furries on the like that do the DSP for King Casino stuff too and stuff like that too. So, but yeah, I thought like, man, if they're the top comment on Memeologies is often for, is it that because I see them comment on my stuff too, and I'm like, oh hey, I actually recognize him. It's like Ari Kisoka. It's a hyena PFP. But I've seen a couple furry commenters with like furry PFPs, which is very cool, and that's good. I mean, that just shows that the detractors are working. No. Yeah, I think they're a hyena. Yeah, it is. Oh, okay. Then yeah, we're thinking of the same person. Yeah, they're very prolific when it comes to commenting. And I like that. I like them. Probably busy with creative stuff to make more than a couple detractor videos or porn, right? Like if I wasn't doing this as part of like my streaming suite, I probably would not have time to do stuff like this. Which is why it's cool when people actually like hang out and do this and about my kick and stuff. Like, yeah. It's also why I don't edit. Although I might be starting to edit these as practice because I do want to edit my like when I start getting into videos for like other stuff that's not this, for my other channels. I want to be able to edit a little bit myself. I might still get an editor, but also for like smaller videos, I want to do my own editing. And I feel like DSP's videos would be a great way to practice. So you might actually see it like edited content, but no, I don't want to spend like too much time on DSP because he's not worth it. But I do want to spend enough time on DSP to make sure other people like know that he's not worth it. I get like from someone called Papaya whenever I comment. Wait, I think I might have on theirs too. I think I might have just recently gotten theirs. But yeah, no, that's cool. That's very cool, and it makes me happy. Also, we're going to go right into palette cleansers. That took an hour. I did not think that was going to take an hour. Like, just, and accuse them of being a chatterbox, and then I 5x a fucking video. I don't know how I fucking do that. At least you guys are happy. Yeah, I'm not going to put you through another DSP video after the go until 9. If it was like 8:30, I would probably do it, but yeah, that's going to be one of the long ones. That's definitely be a longer one. That'll probably be my next one coming up as well. I'll probably put that one up today, actually. It's one of the reasons I didn't upload anything today. It's because of that. Because I'm like, I'm probably going to like have this one. I didn't think I was going to. Also, there's a second video. So we have content for either tomorrow or Monday where apparently he responded to the people. At least you're chatting with chat. I love chatting with chat. I'm quite the chatterbox. Oh, please forgive me. But like, unlike Phil. Yeah, oh my god. Yeah, I'm not berating. Like, where are my tips, guys? I just did an hour of content, and I don't like. Oh man, he's a peach, a rotted peach. That's actually poop. I hope you enjoyed it. Oh, yes, thank you very much, Poofy. Like, I saw that, and I will like, and I'm just sitting there because I'm sitting in my ST meeting, and I'm going through my Discord because the Discord for STs is right next to the one for is next to my gaming one for all my like other ones. And I saw that pop up. It's like, hey, this furry like did thing. I'm kind of like looking at it, and as I'm waiting for 2 of the SCs to stop talking about Blood Bowl, because oh my god, they are infatuated with Blood Bowl. And I saw them like, son of a bitch. The one day we're not doing, like, the one day I'm not doing it this week, and a fucking furry just decides to go crazy. We will never forgive you. Oh no. Now I say this with all my heart. I don't care. I love those emotes. Those emotes are so good. But yeah, let's do some palate cleansers. Let's make sure we leave with a bright mood and a happy disposition. What? That did not go the way I thought it was going to go. It was cute. I thought it was just going to like end it, like it was going to go with the stormtrooper like actually aiming and killing like Princess Leia or Han Solo or something, and then it's like da 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 da, da and then just roll the credits. If I could aim, I wish I could aim. I can't. I'm bad at it. I do well okay if I can lock in, but...
If you ask me, the guy who put the sword into the stone should be king, not that shuckle who got it out. I assume the guy who put the sword that makes you the king into the stone doesn't really want the position. I think the stone should be king since it held the sword the longest. If you ask me, the guy who put the sword into...
Nice. Oops. Good old D&D humor. The most traumatic children's book I've ever read. Oh, this should be good. So I was just doing a little checking.
Hide and Seek, a totally normal children's book by Andrew Racho. All right, everybody, here are the rules.
This
I'll cover
is
my
not a
eyes and
children's
count down
book.
from 100. While I'm doing that, you all go and hide. When I get to 100, I'll say, ready or not, here I come, and I'll try and find you. 1, 2,
That's a rookie mistake. It's always just 10. You don't need 100. It takes too long.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Tee-hee, Katie will never find me here.
I said the same thing, kid. Who's this?
Ready or not, here I come. I found you.
She has us trapped in some kind of time loop. Seriously, the girl doesn't age. I've been down here for 32 years, yet she's still 7 years old. You have to get out of here before she finds the other kids. Otherwise, she'll keep you down here forever.
I see you, Tanisha.
She made me eat the last 2 kids just to stay alive. Don't make me eat you too. Leave while you still can. Don't turn into me. Oh my god.
That's all of us. Wait, where's Jordan?
Hi, Katie. Looks like you found me.
I didn't find shit. Now get back in the basement.
Yeah, that's a good boy. Such a good boy. God. Wow, Jordan's really good at this game. We can't find him anywhere.
I guess he wins. Looks like when we find him, he'll be the seeker in the next game.
We'll take turns getting food from the fridge every night around midnight. It's safest then. But we can never leave.
This just keeps escalating.
She doesn't sleep. She just looks outside of her room with a hunting rifle every single night. She's waiting for us to stop hiding so she can seek us out with a high caliber bullet.
What?
I'm pretty sure she's the devil.
Let's play again.
Hide and seek.
That was a book. I do like the kinds of where it's just the horror is like disguised in something cutesy. It's always one of my favorite tropes. So I was vibing. I was like, all right, how's this gonna get terrible? And it did not disappoint. It did not disappoint. I think it would have been a funny twist if she was just her adult brother trying to sabotage this kid. Oh, that would be that's also nice, where it's like it's cute and then it turns into horror, but then it's also cute again. I would like that. Like, that would have been fun too. It's like, oh, looks like I found you. He's like, what? It's like, that's my brother. That would have been, yeah, no, I like that. That would have been good. Because it did kind of go off the rails at the end. So that would have been a really nice, like, clean conclusion.
My dad goes, hey, the school called us and told us some kid's been beating you up every day. Why don't you tell us? And I go, because you guys are professional fighters. And I'm getting beat up by some kid. It's embarrassing. And he goes, good. You're a boxer. You're not a street fighter. If somebody hits you, you tell the teacher. I go in my bedroom, I close the door. A few minutes later, the door opens, and my criminally minded grandfather walks in. And he goes, hey, don't listen to your father. He's a f***ing idiot. And then he said, now tell me about this kid's personality. Tell him he's captain of the football team. And his Egyptian eyes light up. And he goes, oh, he's competitive. He goes, now listen, you don't need to be the best fighter to solve your problems. You just need to use your brain and have some guts. I'm going to tell you what to do. It's going to fix your problem. The next day I go to school with my grandfather's advice orbiting my brain. I go right up to the kid that was beating me up and I go, hey man, aren't you tired of beating me up? You beat me up every day. How boring is that? You might be a better fighter than me, but I bet you're not stronger than me. And I bet you I could do more push-ups than you. And he goes, what? No, you can't. He gets on the ground. He starts doing push-ups, just like my grandfather said he would. And then he gets up and goes, 48, beat that, you. Oh, I could barely move my arms. And then I beat the shit out of him.
Nice.
And my dad goes, hey, the school called us and told us some kid's been beating you.
I was wondering where that was going. It's like, okay, is he going like how's that going to resolve? And it's like, oh, yeah, he's got the noodle arms. Like, you do a lot of push-ups. Like, you're not going to be able. That's Zern's advice? Yeah, I can see that being Zern's advice. I can totally see that. We'll do one more and then we'll save these three for that, maybe. Or it could be more nefarious, because Zern is a cat. You can never know. Alright, this is the last one. I want to be Mia when I grow up.
Hello, and welcome to the best thing to ever happen to me. Let's have a look.
Hello, and welcome to Rich People Things Us Poors Haven't Heard Of.
An 11-year-old named Mia plays the fashion game with her Barbies.
Today, we're looking at pants. First off, we have these. They are low-rise skinny jeans. That's the entire description.
The sass.
And cost $2,475. Our journey has just begun.
You guys.
These are frayed 1950s low-cut shorts. And I don't think you can guess how much they cost.
Oh, I bet I can't, Mia.
$9,667.99. There is a concierge service. For the first 2 weeks after purchase, you get 24/7 concierge service if the pants are just not quite right, or if you want some help getting dressed, I guess.
It's the 99 cents for me, but also what 11-year-old knows what a concierge service is? Mom and Dad, you are killing it!
But next up...
It's a little suspicious why that kid knows about concierge service. I didn't even know about concierge service until I went to, like, a convention.
Oh, next up is bad.
I'm, like, my mid-20s.
She gets me.
Oh, next up, we have this abomination.
She really gets me.
Now, my hand is here because, these are crotch-ripped 1895 black slacks for, a lot of money.
Maybe she gets me too much. A little bit too much.
Let's see if you can guess how much. Pause if you need to.
That's a thing I say.
$275,782.22. Anyway, that was rich people things us poors haven't heard of.
Yes, it was, Mia. You must be protected at all costs.
It's like a little too much. Like, yeah, no, that's about right for fucking rich people fashion. You look at it, it's like, why? I remember. I don't doubt the kid would do this, but I feel like maybe the parents gave her a script for their video. Maybe that's true. That could be. That could be it too. Oh God, I hope not. I hope that was organic, but you never know. You never know. Boo. Plus, that was very specific. Like that was some specific stuff. So maybe like she was playing with it, and then they're like, "Hey, we'll help you film this, but do the thing." But yeah, I can't remember who was selling it, but it was essentially like a paperclip, like a silver paperclip necklace for like 5 figures. I'm like, man, you know how easy it is to make a knockoff of that? Just I've made paperclip chains when I was a kid, when I was like waiting around for stuff, and I happened to be near office supplies. Like I was like 2 steps away from being a billionaire, and I didn't realize it. Just take that shit, spray paint silver, and boom. Knock off. We probably wouldn't even know the fucking difference, being completely honest. But there's been a lot of dumb shit like that. But in any case, oh man, I'm starving. And thank you for coming around and watching this in the Saberwolf Cafe after hours, or the Saberwolf Alley. I'll think of some designation for this, but did my avatar freeze? Nope, not there one. Tomorrow, I believe we will be having the Kick exclusive, and might be slightly abridged. It might just be like a fill video or two, because I might have people coming over. So, but we'll still definitely have it. So, but in any case, that's tomorrow. 4 p.m. also, if you want to just chill and watch me write and talk and do stuff like that too. But yeah, definitely 7 p.m. So thank you, everyone. Have a great night. Good night, Poovy. And hope to see you in the next one. See ya. Starting again, no, I didn't skip the meal. It's just I had something that was very salty, and something that like now I'm like really hungry because it was. But in any case, yeah. No, I didn't skip a meal though.